Also, the MHRA, you can sign up for a drug safety update from the MHRA. And this was this week's drug safety update. And you can see that we've got a Med Safety Week coming up, 7th to 13th of November, where the MHRA want to talk to health professionals with especially about the importance of reading patient information leaflets to the patient. Well, this is going to be very interesting because I'm not quite sure that we've actually seen a hard copy of the patient information leaflet. You're normally told to go and get it online. So I'm quite concerned about that. Also, I'm quite concerned about the fact that in a hyperlink in the data that I received, it would appear that Moderna, the storage facilities have been changed for the Moderna Spikevax. Now, we know that mRNA was meant to be stored at -70, although having spoken very recently to Hedley Rees, we now know that not to be true. But here, the MHRA is saying that they're updating the shelf life and storage instructions for Spikevax COVID-19 vaccine Moderna to allow the vaccine to be stored to the range of -50 to -15. Well, this is huge. So I'll be very interested to hear Hedley's take on what he thinks of that, because this is absolutely in no way should this be happening. Also,
Debbie,
the MHRA, sorry,
Debbie,
Brian, go on.
just to come in there, I think it would be good to explain to our audience today that Hedley, who has got extensive experience in the supply chain industry for pharmaceutical products and vaccines, and what he has said is that the actual storage temperature of these types of products is absolutely critical, because if they are not continually held at the right storage temperatures, then what happens is you get a breakdown or a separation of the constituent ingredients, and this can dramatically affect the efficacy of the pharmaceutical product. It could even, in some circumstances, make it dangerous. And part of his warning was that if we look at the supply chain around the rush to get the COVID-19 vaccines out, that many of these safety requirements of the nature of storage, the volume of vaccine stored, and the temperatures, all of this was thrown to one side.
Yeah, exactly. Everything has been stopped. Everything, all the safety checks that should have taken place from the minute that this was cooked up in a chemical kitchen to the second it arrives to your doctor's surgery or to your pharmacist or into your arm, there should be really stringent tests, good manufacturing practice, and the good manufacturing guide. And Hedley Rees has highlighted an awful lot of problems, huge red flags where safety has literally gone out of the window. So this is a very important little hyperlink about changing the storage there. And these are the things they don't want us to know that we should be keeping a very close eye on. So I can reassure everybody that I have sent that link to Hedley Rees, and I'm going to wait and see what he says, but I can only imagine it isn't going to be good.
Let's move on then to the Tripledemic.
Yeah, Twindemic's gone out of the window, and now we're heading, or at least the USA, this is a report on the Mail from the USA saying that they're extremely worried because they've got a huge rise in respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, as we know it. So the combination of RSV and COVID and flu is causing a huge problem where they've got 71% of their beds full. They've never seen anything like it. And that they're doing these huge rise in tests, PCR tests, would you believe, nasal swabs, 6-inch sticks into babies' noses, into people's noses to test for RSV. I'm not even going to start to get into why we know that these PCR tests are inaccurate. But what I will say is that I'm extremely concerned because RSV can cause bronchiolitis. Now, my children, when they were babies, had bronchiolitis. All my children had RSV. I would sit in the bathroom with the shower on, lots of steam. If sometimes they would need a bit of help, antibiotics or steroids or whatever, but generally, this is a condition that most children have had by the time they're 2. If you're adult, then there's very good therapeutic measures for RSV. And yet, clearly, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? There's an mRNA vaccine on the way, and that's just it. There is. So we've got Moderna about to roll out an mRNA jab for RSV, and we've also got GlaxoSmithKline in the running as well. So, just the fact that these jabs are now being produced and they're in the pipeline suggests that what we've said all along is mRNA is here to stay. And not only that, I just wanted to highlight an article that I'd seen with regards to MHRA funding, in that the MHRA and NICE have been given a nice fat £1.8 million to investigate and to work out the regulation that they might want to use for digital mental health tools. I mean, this is absolutely terrifying. We know what the MHRA are like with medical devices. They tell us they're not a regulator, and yet now NICE and the MHRA have been given 1.8 million from the Wellcome Trust of all places to decide what might be a digital mental health tool. And we know that some of them get embedded into the head and into the brain. So the fact that they don't even know what a mental health digital tool is yet is very concerning. But we can expect to see the rollout of many of these with regards to mental health. And we know that mental health cases are going to soar. So this is a story to watch, because I don't trust NICE or the MHRA or Wellcome. So for me, it's another twindemic of three very, very worrying organisations in collaboration with each other.
Okay, Debbie, thank you very much.